Proverbs chapter 10, verse 9. He that walks uprightly walks surely, but he that perverts his ways shall be known. The fourth book of Moses called Numbers. Chapter 23. And Balaam said to Balak, Build me here 7 altars, and prepare me here 7 oxen and 7 rams. And Balak did as Balaam had spoken, and Balak and Balaam offered on every altar a bullock and a ram. And Balaam said to Balak, Stand by your burnt offering, and I will go, peradventure the Lord will come to meet me, and whatsoever he shows me I will tell you. And he went to an high place. And God met Balaam, and he said to him, I have prepared 7 altars, and I have offered on every altar a bullock and a ram. And the Lord put a word in Balaam's mouth, and said, Return to Balak, and thus you shall speak. And he returned to him, and, lo, he stood by his burnt sacrifice, he, and all the princes of Moab. And he took up his parable, and said, Balak the king of Moab has brought me from Aram, out of the mountains of the east, saying, Come, curse me Jacob, and come, defy Israel. How shall I curse, whom God has not cursed? Or how shall I defy, whom the Lord has not defied? For from the top of the rocks I see him, and from the hills I behold him. Lo, the people shall dwell alone, and shall not be reckoned among the nations. Who can count the dust of Jacob, and the number of the 4th part of Israel? Let me die the death of the righteous, and let my last end be like his. And Balak said to Balaam, What have you done to me? I took you to curse my enemies, and, behold, you have blessed them altogether. And he answered and said, Must I not take heed to speak that which the Lord has put in my mouth? And Balak said to him, Come, I pray you, with me to another place, from where you may see them, you shall see but the utmost part of them, and shall not see them all, and curse me them from there. And he brought him into the field of Zophim, to the top of Pisgah, and built 7 altars, and offered a bullock and a ram on every altar. And he said to Balak, Stand here by your burnt offering, while I meet the Lord yonder. And the Lord met Balaam, and put a word in his mouth, and said, Go again to Balak, and say thus. And when he came to him, behold, he stood by his burnt offering, and the princes of Moab with him. And Balak said to him, What has the Lord spoken? And he took up his parable, and said, Rise up, Balak, and hear, hearken to me, you son of Zippor. God is not a man, that he should lie, neither the son of man, that he should repent. Has he said, and shall he not do it? Or has he spoken, and shall he not make it good? Behold, I have received commandment to bless, and he has blessed, and I cannot reverse it. He has not beheld iniquity in Jacob, neither has he seen perverseness in Israel. The Lord his God is with him, and the shout of a king is among them. God brought them out of Egypt, he has as it were the strength of an unicorn. Surely there is no enchantment against Jacob, neither is there any divination against Israel. According to this time it shall be said of Jacob and of Israel, What has God wrought? Behold, the people shall rise up as a great lion, and lift up himself as a young lion. He shall not lie down until he eat of the prey, and drink the blood of the slain. And Balak said to Balaam, Neither curse them at all, nor bless them at all. But Balaam answered and said to Balak, Told not I you, saying, All that the Lord speaks, that I must do? And Balak said to Balaam, Come, I pray you, I will bring you to another place, peradventure it will please God that you may curse me them from there. And Balak brought Balaam to the top of Peor, that looks toward Jeshimon. And Balaam said to Balak, Build me here 7 altars, and prepare me here 7 bullocks and 7 rams. And Balak did as Balaam had said, and offered a bullock and a ram on every altar. The fourth book of Moses called Numbers. Chapter 24. And when Balaam saw that it pleased the Lord to bless Israel, he went not, as at other times, to seek for enchantments, but he set his face toward the wilderness. And Balaam lifted up his eyes, and he saw Israel abiding in his tents according to their tribes, and the Spirit of God came on him. And he took up his parable, and said, Balaam the son of Beor has said, and the man whose eyes are open has said, he has said, which heard the words of God, which saw the vision of the Almighty, falling into a trance, but having his eyes open, How goodly are your tents, O Jacob, and your tabernacles, O Israel. As the valleys are they spread forth, as gardens by the river's side, as the trees of lignaloes which the Lord has planted, and as cedar trees beside the waters. He shall pour the water out of his buckets, and his seed shall be in many waters, and his king shall be higher than Agag, and his kingdom shall be exalted. God brought him forth out of Egypt, he has as it were the strength of an unicorn, he shall eat up the nations his enemies, and shall break their bones, and pierce them through with his arrows. He couched, he lay down as a lion, and as a great lion, who shall stir him up? Blessed is he that blesses you, and cursed is he that curses you. And Balak's anger was kindled against Balaam, and he smote his hands together, and Balak said to Balaam, I called you to curse my enemies, and, behold, you have altogether blessed them these 3 times. Therefore now flee you to your place, I thought to promote you to great honor, but, see, the Lord has kept you back from honor. And Balaam said to Balak, Spoke I not also to your messengers which you sent to me, saying, If Balak would give me his house full of silver and gold, I cannot go beyond the commandment of the Lord, to do either good or bad of my own mind, but what the Lord said, that will I speak. And now, behold, I go to my people, come therefore, and I will advertise you what this people shall do to your people in the latter days. And he took up his parable, and said, Balaam the son of Beor has said, and the man whose eyes are open has said, he has said, which heard the words of God, and knew the knowledge of the Most High, which saw the vision of the Almighty, falling into a trance, but having his eyes open, I shall see him, but not now, I shall behold him, but not near. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and destroy all the children of Sheth. And Edom shall be a possession, Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do valiantly. Out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remains of the city. And when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable, and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. And he looked on the Kenites, and took up his parable, and said, Strong is your dwelling place, and you put your nest in a rock. Nevertheless the Kenite shall be wasted, until Ashur shall carry you away captive. And he took up his parable, and said, Alas, who shall live when God does this? And ships shall come from the coast of Kittim, and shall afflict Ashur, and shall afflict Eber, and he also shall perish forever. And Balaam rose up, and went and returned to his place, and Balak also went his way.